Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Thanking everybody who has been rocking with us tonight. We appreciate our special guest that we had in the previous segment. Of course, we had our brother, the legendary brother Umar bin Hassan of the Last Poets. Of course, we had our sister Joelle Alert, who came on the show to talk to us about the tragedy that's going on because of the devastation of Hurricane Matthew down there in Haiti. So we appreciate them joining us. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to some other stuff that we got to get to tonight. And if we always do, we always make sure that we get the crew in and we introduce everybody who is in the building. Of course, shout out to those folks that are checking us out right now on Facebook Live, and we have just brought them into the discussion. They have not been with us at all tonight, but they are joining us here tonight. So thank you to them. Want to make sure that we get the crew in, and I will make sure that we introduce everybody. And the first person that I'm going to introduce, I have her introduce her special guest as well. She is our resident clairvoyant medium. Our sister Shayna Latia is in the room. What's up, girl?
Hello, world. How are you?
Chilling. What's going on?
Nothing. I'm just here popping in. See you. You know I love you.
Popping in?
Yeah, working on my psychic medium show.
And when is that?
Having an all psychic medium takeover on October the 31st. It will be Halloween takeover.
Halloween takeover.
For all the psychics and mediums, we're going to have a great lineup. We're going to talk about dreams. We're going to talk about angels. We're going to talk about the difference between spirits and ghosts. We're also going to talk about the true meaning of Halloween. We're going to keep it real spiritual, real funky, you know?
Spiritual, real, and funky. And I appreciate it. I look forward to it. It's going to be a dope show, and so we're going to...
Very high. And as always, we're accepting all calls. You know, as usual, you know, I do my readings, but I'm going to have an array of psychics and mediums here. So if you have a call about dreams, if you have questions about dreams or questions about angels, questions about spirits versus ghosts, call us, and we have the answers.
Ain't no half step on Marcus J. And you've got a brand new special guest joining us in the room for the very, very first time. Introduce our sister.
My very special guest tonight, her name is Tia. Welcome to the show, Tia.
Hey.
How are you feeling tonight?
How you doing, Tia?
Feeling good. This is something new, so I'm excited.
Good, really? Good. We're so happy to have you. Tia is a medium. She's clairvoyant. She's also a dream reader, and she is an amazing person. She's psychic.
Look forward to building with you tonight, Tia. So glad to have you. It's a pleasure meeting you.
You too.
And so we're gonna have a dope show.
Beautiful,
of course,
spirit.
Joining us, she joins us on the second Monday of every single month. That's my best friend. What's up, Tony? What's up, girl?
Morning.
How you all doing today?
Fine.
You all right?
Yes, I'm good.
You chillaxing?
I am. I say moaning because we have this guy at work that says that like all day at work.
Moaning?
Every time we see him. Moaning.
That's a little bit.
Good morning.
That's a little bit weird.
It's annoying.
It's weird.
It's absolutely
But you know
annoying.
what though?
Y'all are two in the same.
That's like real dope though, because you know I got another friend. My big sister Sue says that like it could be like 10:30 at night when you see her. If you hadn't seen her all day, that's what she's gonna say to you. Good morning. I mean, I guess it's like good morning somewhere,
but not moaning.
Yeah. Does he make that face with the side eye that you just gave me?
Oh no, he makes a like good morning face.
Yeah. See,
happy.
I'm not built for all the happiness, man.
No.
That's too
what
much.
What is wrong with both of y'all? Y'all are the same.
Yeah, man. We was born in the same hospital. Like literally, we was born in the same hospital, and then like 2 years after she was born, they tore that joint down.
Why would you say that?
Because it's the truth.
Marcus, that is just me.
They tore the hospital down. It's apartments now.
Y'all too.
Margaret Haig Hospital in Jersey City, New Jersey.
Haig Maternity Hospital.
It don't exist no more because of Tony.
You blame the hospital.
They couldn't recover from you.
Yeah, but you came like 2
20
years
years
later.
before
They
me. No,
did
you
two.
were
Like
20
it was.
years
It's like
before
it was two. It was
Oh,
two.
man.
This is what
Wasn't
happened
even
when
a
you
full
get
two.
best friends on the
Wasn't even a
radio.
full two. It was like
It's
20 months.
two.
It was like 20
It's
months.
two.
It wasn't even full two. It was
You have a
like
32-month-old baby.
well, if the
Were you
baby's
that dad
I'm not like good with the math. That sounds
who
like
had a
four.
32-month-old daughter?
Is that four? It's no, that's not four. Yeah, no, that's three. I don't know. What's the math on 32?
Going on.
2.5 years old.
Oh, yeah.
about,
Thanks.
give or take.
Thanks, Tia. Appreciate it. And whatnot. You don't have Steppin with Marcus J live for the Dead Legacy Internet Radio. Of course, she don't need no introduction. She don't need no invitation. She is the first lady that you've ever heard her voice on Legacy Internet Radio. She is comedian that's Lissa P. What's up, yo? What it do?
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Legacy Internet Radio family. What's going on?
What's happening?
Yo, this room is full of sexiness. Like Facebook Live, I know you see what's in the room. I know you don't see me. I'm like ghost, you know. Of course, Shayna, she's going to talk about that, you know, the difference between ghost and spirits. You feel me?
ducking.
Right now, I'm ghost. So, but yeah, I'm so happy to be here on this Monday, this sexy Monday with you guys. How y'all feeling? Y'all good?
I feel good today.
Everybody looks awesome.
Super fantastic.
So glad to see y'all.
Your hair
Marcus
stays
J.
laid, baby.
Thank you, boo. It's literally laid. This is what you call a rat tail comb. You only got 5 minutes to either do your hair or wash your cooch and put on clean drawers. So, as you see, I opted for the clean drawers and cooch. So, my hair is rat tail comb. laid.
I'm glad you prefer that.
See, yeah. So, yes,
Yeah,
thank you, though.
It's
Thank
great
you.
that you I just seen an article where a plane had to land because a woman's area was smelling so bad on the plane.
Wow.
I actually saw that too.
Did you see that?
Yes, I did. I saw the
Glad
article.
you choose A before you choose
Exactly. See, but I appreciate the compliment too. Thank you. Yeah, but I did see that.
Ain't
Yeah.
no half stepping with Marcus J. Live for the Dead. Legacy Internet Radio. Couple of hits in social media, mostly actually from Facebook Live. We get hit from Sister Katrina saying peace to her bestie. And while she's checking in, of course, Mr. 3375, who used to be on here every single week. I don't know where he at, but I'm going to give you some love, brother. Come on home. Come on home. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den Legacy and that radio. All right, let's move to
Look really quick. Then Marcus just sound like, when the preacher asks people to, come back to the church, the young folks, come on home, y'all. Come on back home. It's like, Jeff, please come back home.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna give him the business. I ain't seen him in a while. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. All right, we're gonna move to some of the news of the day. And it's very interesting that I've got a room full of ladies here, and it's good because of the next topic that I want to get into. Now, we know that next month we're going to have to go to the polls and vote for who we feel is going to be the next president of the United States. And quite frankly, I've got issues with both of them, but that's not exactly where I want to go first. Where I want to go first is the comments that Donald Trump made. Now, I have opted not to play the audio. I could do that, but I'm not going to play the audio. I know many folks who are listening have already heard it. Some folks in the room, I'm hoping, have already heard it. But I will kind of edit some of the transcript that I have here in front of me because I want to kind of get into some of the big pieces. And then I've got a question that I'm going to put to the ladies in the room. Donald Trump, just kind of set it up. Donald Trump was filmed while he was talking to television personality Billy Bush of Access Hollywood. They were on the set of the daytime show Days of Our Lives where Mr. Trump was making a cameo appearance. And this was on the tour bus on their way to, I guess, meet wherever they were supposed to meet. And they were having a conversation. And Trump says, as they were talking, obviously, about a woman, the person says to Trump, she used to be great. She's still very beautiful. Trump responds, I moved on her. Actually, she was down on Palm Beach. I moved on her. I failed. I admit it. I did try to F her, is what he says. He continues. And the person that he's talking to responds. And then he says that he moved on her heavily. In fact, he took her out shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. And he said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. So he took her out for furniture. And he says, quote, and I'm going to read this quote, I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there, and she was married. And then all of a sudden I see her, and now she's got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look. And then Billy Bush responds, the girl's hot as shit. And Trump said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at, well, I won't read that part. Let me skip down to the real incendiary part. This is the part that got him a little bit in trouble with one of our candy makers. He said, yeah, that's her with the goal. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Bush says, whatever you want. And this is where Trump says the now infamous line, grab them by the P word. You can do anything. Yeah, and it's more. Tony, I want you to jump in here first. I don't know what anybody thinks with regards to that, but I want to send it around the room, and I want the ladies to kind of comment on your thoughts on when you heard. I don't know if you've heard the actual audio. Okay, you give me the face. Yes, you've heard the audio, and then of course I paraphrased it. For those folks who've been under a rock for the last 72 hours who have not heard it, I didn't want to play the tape because I wanted to be able to control how it got out. But you're up, Tony. Donald Trump, these comments, or Donald Trump and not these comments. What you think?
I mean, as a 40-year-old woman, I am not surprised to hear men talking like that. I'm not surprised. I mean, from, growing up and being in the military and even working in corporate America, I mean, I've heard some pretty offensive things from men and females too. It's not just men, it's females too. So, I mean, I'm not surprised.
First Lady, what you think?
Somebody said cooch sometimes.
Would have been better if he said grab him by the cooch.
Yeah, it would have been a little bit more comical. A little bit more comical. I actually feel like, okay, so let's break it up. Number one, first and foremost, if he had not been running for president and this just came out, him being, the person for the Celebrity Apprentice or what have you, some things would have been said, but he really wouldn't have been judged this much, I don't think. True. But of course, because now he's running for president, it's really a big deal. So, I guess you could put it between here and there. He said it was locker room talk. Yeah, whatever. We already know that a lot of people, all they have to do is apologize and it goes away. That's how he gave that muck of a apology when he said, I said it, I did it, I apologize. Like, that's supposed to make it go away. So again, the way I feel is it will be brushed under the rug some way, somehow by the next debate. I don't know what date it actually is. But I feel like if nothing else comes up between that time, of course, they'll bring this up again. But if he still has the supporters behind him that he needs or enough votes, then he still could possibly get in. Now, of course, I know that, he has to have a certain amount of, I guess, delegate votes or things like that at the end or towards the end to make sure that it's legit. But I just feel some way, somehow, this billionaire will be able, again, to weasel his way through the maze some way, somehow. So, again, I said this like a couple of weeks ago. It's a possibility that on November the 9th, we could hear that Donald Trump is the next president of the United States of America. So, how do I feel? The real question is, I really feel how he feels. He said it. I mean, so what's going to happen? I guess the proof will be in the pudding, as they say.
Miss Tia, first time. What you got? What you think?
Well, actually, I've been under the rug for a little bit. I didn't actually hear it. So this was my first time hearing what he said, but I have read about it and developed my own opinions about it. Personally, I think it's very offensive, but I mean, everybody says things that, can be offensive to many people, and this is not the first time he's said offensive things to more than just females. This is races, many religious people as well. So it's not anything new to hear this coming from him, but at the same time, it's too far. It went too far, especially when you're in the light to be president. You could be president based on people's opinions and what they decide to vote, and you should hold yourself personally responsible and at a higher level than saying that kind of things behind, closed doors or in front of doors or however you want to say it. But
this was in 2005, wasn't it?
2005.
Yeah.
2005.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Like, where do people find this stuff? That's what I want to know.
I'm gonna address that in a minute. I want to get everybody an opportunity. I'm definitely going to address that though. Shannon, what do you think?
Well, I think he was definitely just being a man. This is how men talk to men. Second, he took a woman out to get furniture. Wow. I'm over here like, dang, she got a whole living room set and he ain't get nothing. That's messed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, y'all know I was gonna take it there. Like, but man, I mean, the part where he say, "Hey, I'm gonna just pull up on the and just grab it." He ain't lying. Women out here will let celebrities do that. They don't mind. They don't mind.
But you know what? I feel that too. Donald Trump has set a lot of men up
to get in trouble,
to get murked. Like,
for
seriously,
sure.
like, you talking about Second Amendment. You want to talk about guns?
Keyshawn over there can't just roll up on somebody.
Walk up. Let me tell you all, gentlemen who feel like that their screws may be a little loose. You cannot follow everything this man says, because if you go out here and try to grab the next woman's cooch, let's just say,
you might get hurt.
Either you're gonna drop. Because let me tell you something about me, comedian Alyssa P. Ow, ow. Okay. This may be very harsh for me to say. Oh, God, it's going to be so harsh. But that's okay, because it's just me, and you have to accept it, or you don't. I feel like if people do crimes, don't put them away. Cut off all their fingers, yo.
That's what they do in the Mid-East.
Cut off every finger. Don't lock them off. Don't lock them up, because, again, cut off what they use to do whatever the crime was. You use your fingers, so you don't need
So his hand need to be chopped off.
all of them.
We're getting a couple of hits on social media. Our brother WB from Twi After Dark on Sunday night says, "Not all men talk that way." Our brother Tavon is checking us out. He's telling us to have a great show. Our brother Ahura in Maine is checking us out. He's saying peace to the crew. Let's see. My brother Larry is checking us out. He's thanking us for having a live video, and he says that he may want to call in. Call-in number is 804-402-2893. Call-in number is 804-402-2893. That's the number to dial if you want to be a part of the discussion. I feel awkward like staring at the camera, but I am reading comments, I promise you. Ahura says, if you do that to a woman, you deserve to lose your hand. So he's agreeing.
Word.
He's agreeing. He's agreeing with you, First Lady.
Ahura.
I'm telling you.
Here's the deal. Tony, you suggested that who sits on the tape. Did anybody notice the name of the person who was talking to Donald Trump? Did anybody notice his name?
Bush's cousin,
nephew.
right?
It's the nephew.
His cousin?
The whole family.
Family member.
Family.
He's the cousin of President George W. Bush / Jeb Bush, and the nephew of George H.W. Bush. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing. I've been very clear that the Bushes and the Clintons been in bed with each other for a very, very long time.
They got photographs together.
Very long time. Since 1980, a Bush or a Clinton has been very close to the Oval Office, even as vice president, president, secretary of state, senator, or something. They've had some sort of connection to it. And I mean, if you research Mena, Arkansas, you'll see the origins of the Bush and Clinton connection. Google that. Having said all of that, there is absolutely no coincidence that Billy Bush was the one who happened to be talking to Donald Trump when this came out, and then all of a sudden it comes out. No coincidence there. None at all, especially when you consider the connection with the Bushes and the Clintons, and the Bushes have already decided that they're not supporting Donald Trump. When's the last time you've seen every single prominent Republican not support the Republican? No H.W. Bush, no W. Bush, no Jeb Bush, no Mitt Romney, no John McCain, no Bob Dole. None of these, I guess, as they say, prominent giants in the Republican Party. And I would even venture to say that this tape was out there far longer than just popping up now. Remember, what's the guy's name? Bush. Right? Who also ran against Donald Trump?
Jeb Bush.
Jeb Bush.
But you know what? Let me ask you, and I don't think if I missed this, I apologize if you already said this, but you know his show got suspended. Did you say that? He's on suspension. He was on what's the TV show on the Today Show, and he got suspended for a conversation that he was having 11 years ago. Now here's the deal with that. He
got suspended for it.
He got suspended, but you know what I think? I think the Bush family leaked that tape. They had to. Like, how was it all of a sudden just popped up? You don't think that Jeb Bush knew about this tape?
Who ran that network, though? Who runs that network? Like,
well, I know Access Hollywood was on NBC, and Today's Show is also on NBC. And so I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know enough about how the leak, and that's air quotes, I don't know enough about how the leak came out. But, you know, I'm a professed conspiracy theorist. I don't think any of this stuff is coincidence.
I had a question.
What you think? What's up?
Was this recorded?
Well, it was an audio record. It was actually a video. When you can see the video, when you get a chance, go back and Google it. Basically, you don't see Billy Bush and Donald Trump. You see the outside of a bus, but you hear the audio very clearly. So they were probably physically mic'd, and then you see them walk off of the bus. The audio doesn't change, which means the video camera was recording the bus driving up as they were stepping off of the.
So my question is, who is doing this recording? They recording themselves?
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As the bus
Where did this come from?
But see,
Why
as
are
the
you
bus is
recording?
pulling up, the audio must have to be from the inside of the building.
It is.
So
It's
again,
inside of the
as
bus.
they pull up, but I'm saying, so in order for them to connect that audio for it to be filmed from the outside of the bus, it has to be somewhere. In the building.
Yeah.
So they have
Yeah.
to be.
So do y'all think he was set up some type of way? I mean, he asking all these crazy questions.
Let me say it to you like this. One thing that I've learned just doing legacy internet radio, you need to be careful with a hot mic.
For sure.
You just need to be careful with a hot mic. You don't know what might get picked up, and it doesn't mean that you're saying something inappropriate. It just means that you might be saying something that you don't want other folks to hear you saying. So anyway, ain't no hashtag on Marcus J, live from the Den, legacy internet radio. We're getting a caller you on the live line. What's your name? What's your comment?
I'm Ahura Z. Delisa.
Ahura, what's up, brother?
Hi, Ahura.
Hey, how you doing,
I
Shannon?
love you.
How are you guys doing?
I love Ahura.
Yeah.
You know, that just reminded me of a T-Bird. I love you.
Can you cut it up so
Remember
I
that
can't
song?
I love
hear?
you too.
I can't hear Ahura.
That's what that joint reminded me of.
Ahura, you have to meet Tia.
Ahura, go ahead and get your comment,
Okay.
brother. Go ahead, brother.
Well, you know, I've been listening, and you know, I've been considering what has happened over the past few days with this whole thing about Donald Trump saying that he just walks up and grabs some woman the way that he did. I personally, you know, now that this video has come out, I wonder what the husband of the woman that he was trying to force to sleep with him thinks.
Yeah.
We haven't heard.
I mean, I was just thinking about it because you really haven't heard much about that. Not to mention the fact that now millions of women have been told basically that they don't matter, that they don't, they're worthless, that some guy can just walk up to them at any point in time and do whatever he wants to do with them. Yeah, but that whole thing about them being related.
What you think, man?
I think that it just. Well, you know, I think that everybody there is related. Personally, I think Trump, Clinton, all of them. I think that they're all related in some way, shape, or form. I think it's just a big incestuous thing that's going on, pretty much.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I really believe that. Not only that, I think it's absolutely disgusting that someone who is supposed to be running for any type of a public office would be allowed to run for public office after that was found out. I mean, basically, we already have a president that was impeached because of such lewd conduct, and now we have someone who's running for president that gets to pretty much say whatever he wants to. No, I don't agree with that at all.
You know what, Howard, let me ask you a question, just kind of like, because we got a lot of ladies in the room, and certainly with all due respect to the ladies, just kind of as a man, I want to ask you a question since you're here with me. They're talking about locker room talk. Now, I haven't made this point. You can kind of tell me how you feel about this, but the reality is we say some really nasty stuff when ladies ain't around. We just do. We say some nasty stuff. And
most of us do. Most of us do, but I am not one of those.
Fair enough.
Nor have I ever been.
Fair enough. But dudes, we talk crazy.
We talk pretty crazy.
We talk
crazy.
I
mean, you hear things all the time, and you have a choice to listen to it, or you have a choice not to listen to it. But there's a far cry between a person who is in the locker room,
right,
can't be compared to somebody who's running for president, who knows that their mic is on and knows that there's always the opportunity for them to be heard by millions and millions of their constituents.
Right.
I mean, you can't even put the two together. Locker room talk is locker room talk, and believe me, I played soccer, I played rugby, I played football, so I know locker room talk.
No, I got you. Let me get to what my question was. Let me get to what my question was. Here's my question, because I agree with you. I mean, we say some crazy stuff, but the grab the genitals thing, like, that was outrageous. That was crazy. You got a better chance of saying that to her if you in the mood, and that's how she get down. But
and to mention that he tried to get someone's wife to sleep with him. Oh, yeah. No.
But here's the piece that I wanted to ask you. The fact that he has said these things and he's trying to justify it by bringing up something that another dude did, that other dude, of course, being Bill Clinton. I just want to ask you, like, the whole man code thing. Like, what do you think about that?
I think he's a coward.
Yeah.
I think he's a coward, and I think that for him to do that, it shows that he's a deplorable human being. And to even do something like he's using Bill Clinton, which has absolutely nothing to do with Hillary Clinton, because Hillary Clinton is the one running for president and not Bill. Hillary Clinton is the one running for president and not President Obama. Hillary Clinton is the one that's running. She's the one that's been offended by him. Okay? I mean, you have to think of it that way. For him to use, well, this guy did it, that's like, what the heck is that?
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's like juvenile. That's totally juvenile.
Right.
First off. Second off, the guy's mentally retarded. Okay? Well, what do you say now? Special? Whatever. I think the only reason that he wasn't diagnosed with some form of autism is because his mommy and daddy just paid for him not to be diagnosed with autism. I sincerely believe the guy there's something wrong with him.
You think there's something wrong?
And for anyone to even consider him being serious as far as presidential candidates shows merely that they are kind of mentally deficient themselves.
Here's what I will say to that, because one thing that I have tried to avoid doing, I think I've been pretty successful, is making the personal attacks. That's something that I don't like. I don't like doing that simply because, quite frankly, there are some people who just think differently than we do, who have their reasons for supporting him. They could be as simple as he's Republican. It could literally be. It could be as simple as that. It could also be as simple as I can't stand her. So while I personally think that is one of the most asinine things a person can do in supporting Donald Trump for president, while I think that it is one of the most reckless things that we can do by casting a vote for him to be the president of the United States for far more reasons than we have time to get into. I also know, because I've talked to them personally and in social media, that there are some people who are otherwise rational in every other place in their life, and they are clearly going to vote for him. And so
you're right.
So I don't understand it, but I also know as a black man, my walk in my life and the things that I've experienced and the way my mind works, there's no way that I can look at him and think that he would be beneficial for the things that are important to me.
Well,
But
the thing is that he would not. He would be absolutely contradictory to everything that we as men of color
I got you. But
live
there's
for.
also folks who feel very strongly about, while at the same time misinformed, but very strongly about illegal immigration, folks coming out of Mexico, and he wants to build a wall. When the reality is that most of the illegals here are on expired green cards. That's something that you can easily look up. And they're
the first immigrant he
misinformed.
should be looking to wall out is his wife. Okay.
Say that again. I didn't hear
simply.
you. Say
The first immigrant he should be looking to send back is his wife.
Oh yeah.
I mean, first off, I thought that
She's one of those
president of the
expired
United
green
States had to
card.
be an
Of course
American.
she is.
She's an expired green card person, by the way.
Of course she is.
Or her. I need to wrap you up, man. Go ahead and make your last point quick.
Okay. The only point I want to make is that, listen, everybody has the right to choose whoever they want to. I mean, I don't like Hillary Clinton either. I really love her smile because I think she has the greatest smile, but that is a snake. I don't like Donald Trump because of everything that he stands for. I know that there are other choices, and I'll consider those very deeply, and I think that everyone should. However, when a person shows themselves to be a sexual degenerate, they are automatically disqualified. Knowing my stance on protecting the honor and strength of women, I cannot allow someone to be looked at as a president of the United States. Now, everybody has their problems. Everyone has who they want to vote for. And I hope that we can all do that. We can all vote civilly. But we really need to think about ourselves for a moment here.
I got you, brother. Thank you for calling. We appreciate
no
you.
problem.
Man. Thank you for your guidance.
Okay,
and
I'll
your
talk to you
wisdom, man.
soon.
Talk to you, brother. Ain't no
All
half
right.
stepping with Marcus J live from the Dan Legacy and that radio. We're getting a hit social media from our sister Vicky J, who hosts the Woke Squad. Heard here
Woke
every single
Squad?
Friday night on Legacy Internet Radio. Dope show, real dope show. 804-402-2893. That's the number to dial if you want to get in. First Lady, what you got?
Look, let me just say this really quick. A lot of me feels that so many people have supported him so much thus far that they're too far in right now.
They can't turn around.
So a lot of them are shamed. So if they say right now they were wrong, it's not going to look well on them. So a lot of them are red in the face right now with their head in between their legs. And right now they still have to remain with their vote being for Donald Trump. So
I agree with you. And I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
No, I was going to say I disagree with that because I feel like the closer we get to the election, the more outrageous he becomes. So I think that, he's already lost supporters because of the things that he said, thus far. So I just feel like the closer he gets, the more of a circus it's going to become around him, and people are really going to wake up and realize like this is serious. This is the president of the United States that we're talking about.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Dan Legacy Internet Radio. We get another call. Calling you on the live line. What's your name? What
Hey,
you wanna
Marcus,
get
it's Neek. How are you?
Neek. What up, y'all?
What's going on, guys?
You chilling? How you doing, girl?
Hey, I was just listening to the show, and, it just amazes me how, you guys got the subject of Donald Trump and how Bush's tape miraculously surfaced. Here we are, 11 years later, and now this is now coming to pass. But my question is, when this tape was done, it was 2005, in one of his tour buses, going to some type of premiere show. But this is now coming to pass or coming to surface. Here we are, 5 weeks before the election?
Yep.
So where was this tape when we were going through the primaries?
In somebody's pocket, waiting for the right moment to drop it.
Exactly. And now you've got the Republican Party saying, oh, no, we don't want to support him anymore. We want him to resign. Okay, well, if you want him to resign, who are you going to use to replace him?
Mike Pence.
And if it's going to be Mike Pence, even Donald Trump sat there and basically badmouthed Mike Pence.
Right.
So we don't know Mike Pence from a campaign.
Well, what we know about Mike Pence is that he is someone who refused to pardon a man in his home state who was proven to be innocent, and the reason why he chose to not pardon this man is because we need to, quote, respect the process. This was a man who spent, I believe it was something like 8 or 10 years in prison on a 40-year bid, and he had been exonerated, very similar to the exoneration of the Central Park Five that Donald Trump refuses to even acknowledge, refused to apologize to them. So I guess you got to be a white woman to get an apology from Donald Trump. But having said that, you know, this is Mike Pence, and Mike Pence is also someone who rejected a whole lot of legislation that would have helped and supported the LGBT community. So we know the strong lobby they got. And so I don't know. But my thing is, Nick, and I want you to kind of comment on this one. And caller, we saw you calling a minute ago, caller. We got a call on the line when this call drops, and you can call back. But what do you think about Hillary Clinton with regards to the fact that most folks just don't like her? People just simply don't like her. And, you know, I got my opinions about that, but I'm asking you yours before we let you go.
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't like Hillary Clinton. Heck, let's be honest, a lot of people didn't like Barack Obama. But I understand, you know, when you're electing the president, it's basically a popularity contest, but you've got to look at the issues that are being presented. I mean, popularity doesn't always, you know, be work in our best interest.
Right.
I mean, granted, yes, she's done some unscrupulous things. Heck, we all have.
Right.
But is she going to take this country forward? Can she, you know, does she have the know-how to keep us from going in and out of war all the time?
Right.
Can she negotiate policies? Can she sit down at the table, whether it be round or square, and talk to these other dignitaries and get things accomplished? I think she can. I feel she's more than capable. As far as the candidates that I see, she has the know-how. She has the wit-for-all, and she's done it. She's been there. Donald Trump hasn't done anything for me at all.
I can dig
it. At all.
I can dig it. Nate, thank you, sister. We appreciate you.
I gave you a good reality show.
Yeah.
I did not watch.
Take it easy, sis. We talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good night, y'all.
Right, you got it.
Good night,
Peace.
boo.
Our brother Hakeem is checking us out. Hakeem said October surprise, baby. October surprise. He also said, what up to the crew? I got one more comment that I want to get in. Our sister Dana. What's up, Dana? Dana in Jersey City is saying that she thinks someone should also remember Dr. Randall Pinkett, former Apprentice winner and also a member of The Apprentice. Obviously has some issues with Donald Trump. My sister Melanie in the Shy is checking in as well. We had that caller that was calling in a minute ago. Caller, call us back. First Lady, you had a comment. What you got?
Yes, again, the number 804-402-2893. And there you have it. Again, caller, you on the line just in time. Your comment, what you need to say, and what's your name?
Hello.
What's up, Larry? How you doing, brother? I know it's you.
Hey, hey, Marcus, how you doing?
I'm good, man. It's good to hear your voice, brother. What you got?
Hey, listen, I was first of all, I appreciate the show, most definitely. I'm so glad it's going live, and I'm always good to see you doing bigger and better things, and I'm gonna support you more than anything.
What you got, brother? I appreciate that, man. You've been supporting me for a very long time, and I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Well, listen, this is what I got to say. I'll make it quick. You know what? I mean, true. None of us. I think Donald Trump is a nutcase. Matter of fact, I work with a lot of people that just love Donald Trump, and when I went into the office this morning, over half of them jumped off the bandwagon. And, you know, we looked at a debate last night. I looked at it for 5 minutes of basically wasting my time because Donald Trump, he doesn't understand what government is. You know, he's like, I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm like, excuse me, you can propose this because that's what the president does. But Congress runs checks and balances. And Hillary, I mean, I'm not that crazy about her either, but here's my thing. As African Americans, yeah, we support Hillary and we want to do what we can for her, but we actually need to support policies and people that cater to our needs, which start with, not at the president, but needs to start at the city council, at Richmond mayor, at the Chesterfield mayor or the Chesterfield government or something like that. We need to start local and put people in place that are going to address our needs. Because the National Democratic Party, you know, they pretty much know, like, hey, we got the black vote, so we don't really need to do that much for us. It's just like ladies that'll sit there. If you know a guy's going to do everything that you want to do, you know you're going to do that much for him. The same thing with us. And the Democratic Party knows that, hey, I got the African American vote, so we'll throw them a bone, but that's about it.
Right.
You know, they don't really address our issues. And that's why I think we need to start local, have those issues be addressed, and then move our way up.
Right. Right. No, I agree with that. I think the fact that there's so much apathy that we just don't even try. And let me throw this at you, Larry, before I let you go, brother. You know, I was someone who was very vocal because obviously I don't like Donald Trump, and you know, to the point where I'm exhausted even telling folks why I don't like Donald Trump. It's like, dude, you don't get it, then I ain't got energy to tell you. I'm no fan of Hillary Clinton either, and so I very publicly endorsed the Libertarian candidate Gary Johnson. And I took a lot of heat on social media and from some folks that know me personally for that. But, you know, it is what it is. But here's my question to you, Larry. What do you think about this particular election cycle? And ladies, I want you guys to comment on this as well after I let Larry go. But Larry, you up first. This particular election cycle, I've always been a very proud left-leaning independent, meaning I'm independent. I'm not a part of any political party because I know the purple people are going to eat you anyway. No, that's not a shout-out to you, Hakeem, and the Minnesota Vikings, but really, real talk, the red and the blue, they kicked our asses last week, so I had to give some love to my man, Hakeem. But it's really about the fact that as a libertarian, me personally, I understand the libertarian platform because it's almost kind of like a hybrid between the Republicans and the Democrats, which I have voted for both, mostly Democrats. Right. And so this to me would have been the prime opportunity for us to have a real conversation about a third party candidate. Most of us realize that the likelihood of that person winning is pretty slim. But I think if the American people would get over their bullshit with regards to partisan politics, we would have been able to seriously consider maybe not Gary Johnson, maybe not Jill Stein, but in the past, maybe Ralph Nader or even Ross Perot with his crazy self. So what's your thoughts about a third-party candidate? This would have been the prime time and potentially what could happen going forward.
And I agree with you. We need to have another choice because the choices that we got now are just probably some of the worst choices that we have, but it all boils down to his money. Because that Libertarian Party member doesn't have the funds, number one, to put his voice out there. He's not going to get on NBC, CBS, or CNN and be able to express his point because he doesn't frankly have the money, which comes back to campaign spending. You know, because if Donald Trump can have millions, and it takes right now, I read a piece that it takes over $1 billion to become president. $1 billion. Yep. Well, there's only two parties that can pretty much raise that kind of money. Right. And libertarians don't even stand a chance. And a lot of them have good ideas, good sound ideas. Yep. But if you don't have the bullhorn to get that information out there, then it falls upon deaf ears. Yep. And I think we need to have campaign spending reform so that we can have a positive choice, that more people can get out there and put their head in the ring and not be tied to just one party or two parties. Right. You know, and we need to have that. And as African Americans, it was great that we got Barack Obama out there. He was a Democrat, but there are other parties that have African Americans in them that we don't even get a chance to see. Right. And those voices need to be heard also.
I got you, brother. Thank you for your
Listen,
support,
man, enjoy your show. You know, I'm gonna support you, brother, all the way. You keep doing your thing, and ladies, y'all keep on in there with Marcus. And I did have to say one last thing, Marcus.
What you got, brother?
Being a Redskins fan, you know I enjoyed the game last week.
Redskins fan.
I'm holler at you later.
I knew it was only a matter of time before you slipped that one in there, brother. I appreciate you, man.
That's right.
Hey, look, you got that, man.
HTTR for life.
You got that, brother.
There we go.
Be good,
man.
Well,
listen, y'all take care. Hopefully, keep doing your thing. But let's make this show 3 hours. Enjoy it. Have a good one, bro.
Hold on, Larry. You still there? Oh, shoot, I lost him. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Tony, you listening? You heard the question that's on the floor. What you think, man? Third party? Is that something that you agree we should realistically consider? Or, you know, am I tripping for it? I mean, I try to be, and I'll just kind of say this piece before I give you back, you know, the mic. I try to encourage folks to think outside the box and, I caught a lot of ridicule for it. I got one guy, I'm going to stop short of calling him a troll, but I mean, he kind of trolled me and gave me the business every time I put a post out. I got to read, this dude coming at me. I'm like, really, dude? Like, I mean, this is my opinion, like, for real. Shout out to Hakeem, because Hakeem just sent that to me, y'all. I get a man some love, and this is what he does to me. I love you, brother. But Tony, you hear the question. What you got, man?
The United States will never be a true democracy because there are multiple parties. You can never have unity when you're forcing people to choose a side. It's not possible. So how can you expect the American people to come together to agree on anything when you're telling them you got to either be a part of this team or that team? Right. And if you're not a part of one of those teams, you really don't matter. And that's the way I see the parties in our government.
All right. T, what do you think?
When it comes to the different parties, I've always not been into politics, even in high school when I was learning about it. It's just not my thing, because just like in high school, it's a popularity contest. And when it really comes down to how do people treat other people, what your real goals are to help the community, it's a hard choice to pick between this or this. And it should be more focused on what you can do, what your plans are, how you're going to affect the community, instead of what your face is, what your personal opinions are, and always hitting people from the personal opinion side. I don't think that's really fair, and that's why having just two parties, I know I need to vote in this election, but it's the hardest decision, because it's like, who am I voting for? Right. I don't like Hillary. I don't like Trump. What other choice do I have? And I don't. You know what I found?
I'm glad you should do. Say that again, First Lady, because
I was just saying, write your own name on the ballot. You better off just writing your name and just calling us, texting us, say vote for me, and we'll do it. We'll write your name in.
What you think, Shayna?
Well, I can totally agree with Tia. I've honestly never been into politics. It's just, this is a circus.
Right.
It's hilarious. Like, even watching the debate yesterday, the way Hillary was walking and Trump just always was behind her. Everywhere she would walk, he would walk behind her like he's scowling over her. Like, and all that is like an energy exchange. Like, he's sending her negative energy the whole time she's talking. I just think it's horrible, because it's not real. It's surreal.
I got a couple of quick comments, First Lady, before you jump in here. Michelle K said that she can't trust Trump in the way he handles his business affairs. Other casinos, Taj Mahal, they close their doors. Thousands of people out of work. If he's elected, we are in trouble. We're going to be broke. He can't file bankruptcy to get the U.S. out of debt. She's voting for Hillary Clinton. Dana is asking if anybody's letting their children watch the debate. Mama J absolutely watched the debate. First Lady.
I guess that mine is going to be a little long. So, of course, Marcus J. of Aint No Half Steppin, Marcus J. can cut me off if I need be, but that's fine. First of all, when parties only come together if it's a case of danger or distress or war. So, again, 9/11. Nobody was thinking about being separated that day. Okay, so every party came together to help one another that day on 9/11. So again, when something tragic happens to us as one, as a whole, then everybody, like your brother and sisters, gang up on whoever is attacking us. And it's so a shame that it can't be like that again now, how it should be. So that's one thing. And then going into, there was one Republican on a show that I was watching, an actual Republican, who said, he may just write somebody in on the ballot on election day, and he actually named 4 other Republicans that he felt like would be eligible to run. So I guess one of my questions would be, because I do have questions. One, I would ask, if they could replace Donald Trump and put Mike Pence in his place, who would be Mike Pence's vice president? Who would be his VP choice? Okay. And then this Republican who was on one of the political shows, when he named one of the 4 Republicans that he would replace with Donald Trump, one of them was Condoleezza Rice. So my other question would be, which I posed this question to a friend earlier, if Condoleezza Rice was on the ticket, would all black people vote for Condoleezza Rice? Would the color actually be a thing then? And on top of that, how would Michelle Obama feel about Condoleezza being on the ticket versus Donald Trump?
Couple of things I want to address. First thing, the Mike Pence thing. With the Mike Pence thing, it's impossible to replace Donald Trump. And this isn't me knowing any of this. This is me just listening to the pundits today. And so, I guess I'm kind of doing what I don't like when other folks do, and that's repeating what I heard. But that's really all I can do to address that. But my understanding is that it's too late with regards to getting them physically on the ballots. I think tomorrow, someone correct me if I'm wrong, I think tomorrow is the last day that you can actually register to vote. And so I think it would be a near impossibility. But the fact that Mike Pence has gotten out and people are seeing him and they hate Hillary Clinton so much, in a weird kind of way, I think Mike Pence actually could win if they actually did that. As far as Condoleezza Rice, I think she's absolutely beautiful mentally. She's one of the smartest people I think I've ever seen with regards to policy and her oratory and the way her intellect, and I've never seen her rattled. And she worked with with George W. Bush, who was always somewhat erratic in his behavior, and so I think she's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful person. Mm-hmm. Having said that, I don't know that she would get the kind of support that she would get if she ran as a Democrat, because black people are mentally trained to vote for Democrats, not Republicans. And you can just go back and you can look at the times where they had black Republicans run. You can make the joke about Herman Cain. He was a little bit of a crazy person. But when Michael Steele ran, Michael Steele didn't garner all that much of support, and he's a moderate Republican. He's somebody that he does not at all come off like a crazy person. Like Michael Steele comes off as very reasonable, very similar to Condoleezza Rice, but he didn't get a lot of support from black folk because black folk just simply ain't voting, Republican. So I that's kind of how I look at that. But hey, if someone sees that going a different way, I'm certainly interested in hearing what they think about that. Hakeem is continuing to listen and support us. This time he's not actually picking on me. He's actually contributing. Love you, brother. Hakeem says that he absolutely loves Condoleezza for all the reasons that I just gave, and then some. He always has, he always will, and I agree with that. Ain't no half Steppin, Marcus J, live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. We're going to take a break, y'all. And when we come back, we're going to have a very, very brief segment. But in that brief segment, I want to ask a question about some ice cream. I want to tell you guys about something that I watched on television this weekend. And I want to ask the folks about how they feel about religion in school. Marcus J, and a whole host of fabulous, fabulous people. I got our clairvoyant medium, Miss Shayna Latia.
Hi.
I've got our brand new special friend, our sister Tia. I've got my sister, Miss Tony. And I got the first lady of Legacy Internet Radio, comedianess, Lissa P. Ain't no half Steppin with me and these dope ass ladies. Be back in a few, y'all.
This is the lady
What up,
show.
what up, everybody? It's your girl, Jody Smith, JMM, Jody Music Mixtape. It's a classic. Get at my dude, Marcus J, on Legacy Internet Radio. Ain't no half stepping. Get your own JMM mixtape. Hit me up, Jody Smith, on Facebook, Jody Music, Jody Music. Or you can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. They're both Jody_.